afternoon, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are talking about what's for dinner, an eating survival guide in the residence halls. And this event is put on in partnership with University Housing, Seminole Dining, and CHAW. So thank you for joining us for this event. My name is Sam. I'm a registered dietitian with the Center for Health Advocacy and Wellness, and I use she and her pronouns. And we'll go ahead and get right to it. Right. So today's agenda, we are going to be discussing what is healthy eating. What does that mean exactly? We'll also be talking about where to find food on campus, where to find food around campus, and some tips for saving money at the grocery store. And then we'll wrap up with some meal planning tips. And after that, Seminole Dining will take over and walk you through the cooking portion of today's live. So before we get started, I just want to give a little bit of introduction about CHAW. So to those of you that may not be familiar with our program, we are the Center for Health Advocacy and Wellness. We are the campus's health promotion program. So you will see us all over campus. And a lot of our work revolves around these main topic areas that you can see on the screen. So alcohol and other drugs, sexual health, nutrition and body image, power-based personal violence prevention, aka healthy relationships, hazing prevention, and general wellness. Our office also offers free services. So we do HIV testing, we offer free condoms, lube, and menstrual products, free wellness coaching. We do have dietitians. There's another one. There's two of us, including myself. So we offer nutrition counseling to students, and that is actually covered by your health fee. So there should be no out-of-pocket cost to you. We have campus programs, Green Dot, Lift, Narcan distribution, and student organizations that you can get involved with, including Healthy Knowles, the No More Student Advisory Board, Lift, and the Body Project. And if you want to contact us, here's our information at the bottom of the screen. And please make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's where you can keep up with a lot of our latest programming and a lot of our educational topics as well. We have a lot of fun on our Instagram, so hopefully you'll hang out with us there. Okay, let's get started. So for those of you joining me in the live, what do you think about when you think of healthy eating? And that can maybe be a phrase or a few words that come to mind. Just comment in the chat what that means to you. And kind of keep that in mind as we're talking. So, healthy eating. Sometimes it's easier to start with what it isn't. And we know that what it isn't is black and white. It's not overly complicated or doesn't have to be. And it's not about sticking to a list of rules that dictate where, when, and what to eat. It's also not something that you either get right or get wrong. And it's not one size fits all. And this is kind of counter to a lot of the messages that we get about our eating habits and what healthy eating means. It's usually framed as this is good, this is bad, do this, don't do that. And in reality, it's much more nuanced than that. And so we really encourage students to try to see healthy eating as a bit more than this. It's not a list of rules that you have to stick to or something that you punish yourself for not getting right. And so what is it? So kind of the first important thing is eating enough food. So we know that food is fuel for your body. And your body needs fuel to do all of the important, essential things that you have to do, including, keeping up with your classes, making friends, extracurricular activities, work, things you do for fun. Food fuels you so you can do all of the more important things in your life. And eating enough is kind of the first essential step. And as a dietitian, I meet with a lot of students who don't eat enough, and they're often surprised at how much their body actually needs. And so some of our tips for making sure that you are getting enough food is to try not to skip meals. Even if your appetite is low in the morning, try to have something small and Make sure to pack snacks for long days when you know it will be harder for you to eat consistently, maybe because of your schedule or you being away. And if you're hungry, eat, even if it's late. These are some things that you can do to try to make sure that you are getting enough food. And we always want to keep in mind that eating something is better than eating nothing. I know that sounds really obvious, but sometimes when people are caught up in all the rules of eating, they feel as though, well, if I don't have anything healthy to eat, then I just won't eat. And really, it's better for your body to have that consistent intake, regardless of what it is. Over time, you will find that on average, if you eat a little bit of everything, your body will get what it needs. And so you don't need to stress out a lot about making sure that every meal or every snack is perfectly balanced or quote-unquote healthy. Just try to focus on getting enough and having a little bit of everything if you can. So that's one tip for healthy eating. And kind of our next tip is getting variety and balance. And kind of, it's like I was mentioning before, when you eat from every food group, it helps your body get what you need. And we know that every food group is equally important. And some of our tips for getting variety and balance include trying to choose foods from every food group every day when you can. So that's your protein, your grains, your fruits and veggies, and a dairy/calcium source if you don't eat dairy. So calcium alternatives would be like soy milk, almond milk, coconut milk, coconut yogurt, etc. Just make sure they're fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Try to embrace an all foods fit approach. Really, you can make the case for any food having some nutritive value, and we don't just eat based on nutrition. We eat because things taste good, because it's what's available to us. So again, like when you're open to kind of eating a little bit of everything, your body will get what it needs from that. And then try to be open to having new foods, or maybe having foods you like served in different ways. It might be a new experience for a lot of you as you're figuring out how to prepare meals and what you'd like to eat and things like that. So just being open to trying foods in different ways can be a good way to keep you from getting bored, and also to expand your palate and to make sure that your body's getting everything it needs from your diet. So switching gears a little bit, what is your favorite place to eat on campus? Just comment in the chat. What's your favorite place to eat on campus? We're going to be talking a bit about where to find food on campus. Okay, so finding food on campus. As you may know or may not know, there are more than 20 dining locations across campus, courtesy of Seminole Dining. And this includes dining halls like Suwannee Room that's pictured here, as well as locations that offer many meals, snacks, beverages like tea and coffee. So there's tons of options for places to eat on campus. One of the nice things about having a meal plan is you can actually get a to-go meal from either the dining halls. So that's a pretty popular option among students. There's also convenience stores or C-stores on campus. So they have great ready-to-eat foods. For example, with today's recipe, we'll be making a healthier version of ramen. Sometimes the stores will have boiled eggs, so it'll save you a step. And then you can very quickly put a meal together. And if you are someone who needs help with navigating eating on campus because you have food allergies, you can meet with a registered dietitian to discuss your concerns and figure out a plan to make sure that you can get what you need from food on campus. And so you can visit the website that's listed here for more information about that. And I also want to mention another campus resource that's really important. There's a food pantry on campus. It's the Food for Thought Pantry, and that's located in University Center A, and they're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Any FSU student can use this service. Just make sure to bring your ID. And it's important to know that you can get fresh and non-perishable food, and you can visit as often as you need to, up to once a day. So this is a fantastic resource if you're ever struggling to access food or get enough food, definitely visit the Food for Thought pantry. And now let's talk about finding food near campus. So there's tons of grocery stores kind of nearby, so you can get to Aldi, Publix, or Target using the Heritage Grove bus route, and Target is also on these other Garnet, Gold, or Night Knoll routes. So there's definitely lots of options for bus routes to get you to these grocery stores. You can find food items as well at Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Walgreens, and CVS, and those are also along the same bus routes mentioned above here. There's a Publix Greenwise Market on Gaines using the Tall Timbers bus route, which can be an option. There are lots of international markets around town, so if you want to get to some of those, you can plan your route using the bus, using this website here. And then, excuse me, oh, sorry about that. Second Harvest of Big Bend is another local food pantry, and they have lots of distribution locations. Those are always changing, so make sure to check their website for more information. And then, another option that some students like to use is grocery delivery. So that's Instacart, Shipt, Walmart Plus, and with a few of these, you can actually sign up for a trial period for 30 days, so you can get that set up for free and then have groceries delivered. Just remember that the big caveat with this is you have to be present. The front desk cannot accept groceries for you, so you have to physically be present when you're ordering groceries to make sure that you're there when they are delivered. So those are just some choices for accessing groceries. And then just remember too that the buses do not run when class is not in session, the campus buses. And you can ride all buses free with a valid FSU card, whether it's campus or Star Metro. Okay, so my next question for y'all is, how do you save money on groceries? Can you share with us in the comments like your biggest money saving tip? Okay, and just some ideas here. So meal planning is one thing that we encourage students to embrace. It doesn't need to be overly complicated, but it can save you a lot of money and take a lot of the stress out of eating when you know ahead of time roughly what you're going to eat most of the time. And it doesn't need to be 100%, like you don't have to plan every meal, but just kind of think about your schedule. So if you wanted to get started with this, you kind of look ahead to the next week or couple of weeks. Think about which meals you'll be eating in your residence hall or preparing in your residence hall versus which meals you might eat out or in the dining hall or other restaurants on campus. And then come up with like a menu for those meals. So in order to inspire your menu, think about meals that you enjoyed before coming to FSU. Look online for recipes and inspiration. Decide if you want to eat leftovers or prepare something daily. You might consider a theme night, for example, doing a Meatless Monday or a pizza night or a Taco Tuesday, Fish Friday, etc. And also remember that there will be times when you're just very stressed, you don't feel like cooking. Have some easy fallback options that are frozen or no cook, and that can be really helpful for just making sure that you have something figured out for meals, even when you're having a really stressful time. So kind of based on this, you just make a grocery list, and then you don't want to forget things like your snacks, your beverages, treats, toiletries, and other items. So all of this, try to account for and put on your list to keep you organized as things get busier for you this semester. And then step 2, go shopping. So again, setting aside time, looking at your week, when can you carve out time to actually go shopping? And then try to stick to your list if you can. Of course, there's no rules, it's your life. You can shop however you want. But if you're someone that doesn't really care for grocery shopping and you just want to get through it as quickly as possible, you definitely will save lots of time and money if you make your list ahead of time and stick to your list. And you can be in and out, and this chore can be a lot easier for you, just as a suggestion. If you can, try to shop during non-peak hours to avoid the crowd. especially if you get a lot of anxiety around crowds, or you just don't enjoy being in a busy supermarket. Try to shop in off hours. So that would be really late at night or very early in the morning, for example, especially during the week. And make it more fun. Invite your friends. Maybe you all can come up with your own meal plans or share some meals together even, and kind of split the labor that way. That can be kind of a fun way to connect over food and also kind of have a plan to take the stress out of eating. And then give yourself time. You're learning to shop in a new store, and it's going to take time to learn the layout and where to find everything, but with time and practice, it will be faster and easier every time you go. Okay, food preparation. So step 3. So you want to set aside time to prepare your food. So pick a time when you'll be most energized and you have a good chunk of time to kind of get that done, depending on the system you use, which is the next point. So for some people, they prefer just to cook once, like maybe they'll set aside like the food they want to have, say, for their breakfast, for dinner, for lunch, all 3, or maybe just one meal. And they'll just want to do that at the beginning of the week and just be done with it and then have the same thing all week. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine. Really experiment to find what works best for you. Some people prefer to cook maybe twice a week or 3 times a week and have leftovers for like one day. Some people like to have really quick things they can kind of just prepare every day. So really it's going to take some experimenting and finding what works for you. And then try to use a combination of meals and see what's the easiest and the most sustainable, whether you're doing cooking or no cooking or frozen meals. And just know that some weeks you will have more capacity and you'll be more in the mood to cook than others. So be kind to yourself and be flexible. Maybe some weeks you'll need to plan to eat out more or rely more on campus restaurants. Maybe you need to plan easier meals when you don't feel like cooking or are really short on time. So just kind of be keeping that in the back of your mind, that it's okay to have a combination of meals. Everything doesn't need to be cooked from scratch to be a healthy or tasty meal. Remember to account for days you might want to order in or go out to eat on campus. And remember that how you eat doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, healthy eating is not about following a strict set of rules and getting them right or wrong. Really, it's on average how you're eating over time. Excuse me. And then finally, keep track of what's working and what's not. Like if you find a killer recipe that's easy to make, that's tasty, definitely find a way to organize that, whether it's on notes on your phone or Pinterest, or you bookmark the recipe online, or you print out a bunch of recipes that are working for you. Find a system to keep track of them so you have some quick things to kind of fall back on when you're busy and you're not feeling very creative about when it comes to meal preparation. And then just some tips for saving money on groceries. So before you shop, as we've been talking about, start with a list. You might want to make it a practice to download the store ad when you're going to be shopping online, or the Flip app is a great one because you can actually see ads from multiple stores and use that to build your list. And you can kind of get a sense of what's on sale, and you can use that also when you're planning meals, or you can just kind of wing it. Some people prefer just to have an idea of what they want to eat and get to the store and then kind of see what's on sale and maybe have some flexibility around that. And try to eat before you go so you aren't unusually hungry. That will save you a lot of money. And then while you shop, pay attention to sales. Look for 2-for-1 deals, look for manager specials and markdowns. You can save a lot by being kind of aware and a savvy shopper in that regard. Compare prices. You'll find that store brands are often cheaper. And try to choose some canned and frozen foods. Not only are canned and frozen fruits and vegetables especially, and meats, just as nutritious as fresh. They can last longer, they're more shelf stable, and they can sometimes be cheaper, especially if you're someone that ends up buying a lot of fresh groceries and it goes to waste because you don't get to it. Experiment maybe with trying canned or frozen, and see if that saves you some money and cuts down on food wastage. All right, and another question for the chat. What's your favorite go-to quick meal? Please comment below and let us know what your favorite is. Maybe you'll inspire someone else to try that out. If you have, if you can post a link to the recipe, that would be great. Okay, so if you're looking for meal inspiration, we have 2 fantastic cookbooks online. So these are definitely both created with the input of students and involve, a few ingredients, simple kind of techniques. Like, they're not overly complicated, and there's a variety of recipes in here. So we have the Savvy Seminole cookbook and the FSU Food Pantry cookbook. So these are really great resources, and you can find them both on our website at chaw.fsu.edu. Look under the nutrition tab. And then I just wanted to give you some ideas. So this might be a sample grocery list of things you want in your residence room to kind of put together some quick meals. But for example, we've got a lot of different types of foods here. So we have our starchy carbohydrates. We have different kinds of protein that are kind of quick. Fruits, veggies, snacks, extras. So, just kind of some inspiration to get you started. Take baby steps. It can be a big undertaking. Maybe for a lot of you, this is your first time preparing meals for yourself and shopping for yourself, especially if you don't have a meal plan. But just give yourself some grace. You'll figure things out for sure. And hopefully today's recipe that we'll be making makes it into your regular rotation and kind of gives you some easy ideas that you can rely on when times get busy. So without further ado, we will go ahead and transition to cooking your ramen. So go ahead and get your ingredients and your supplies ready. And then after our program, I just want to let you know to be on the lookout for a follow-up email that's going to have an evaluation of this particular program. If you complete that evaluation, you'll have a chance to win a cooking kit to kind of help this process be even easier. Thank you for your time and attention, and we will go ahead and transition now. Bye, y'all.
Hi, I'm Jaden. Come with me to the trading post located in the Union to pick up items for our healthy microwave ramen recipe. This recipe is quick and easy to make in any residence hall.
Hey, I'm Anthony. Let's check out our haul. We got freshly cut celery and carrots, hard-boiled eggs, Jack Link steak bites, a cup of water, beef ramen, and some canned green beans. You can purchase everything with dining dollars.
Now let's combine our ingredients together. First, add the noodles. Now our veggies, which are a great source of vitamins and minerals. Don't forget the protein, and we're only using half of the seasoning packet to keep the sodium content low. Add water and cook it in the microwave for at least 3 minutes. This recipe is approved by our Seminole dining dietitian, Chung.
Once your ramen is done, take it out the microwave, but be careful, it could be hot. Now time to add our egg. You can also add any other garnishes that you like. Feel free to get creative with it. We chose to add more protein.
Last step, enjoy!